2 out of 3 from the Cardinals in the books. The Buccos take a series from St. Louis. First series the Cardinals have lost all year. Invisible Fence brand brings the morning sports report to you. Ken and Guy here at TribLIVE.com. Most significant development of the weekend, Guy, in the series was what? From a Pittsburgh point of view.
I think the triple play turned fortunes around. Even though they ended up, not holding on to that lead that they built there, they still won the game, and I think it just kind of was a sign in the right direction. I think McCutchen's hitting. He raised his batting average 38 points since Tuesday. I mean, he's still only hitting .223, but he had hits in every game except the first game of the series. He's got doubles in 4 straight games. I'm not sure exactly what all this stuff is that he's doing on the dugout floor and running around, but he seems relaxed and to be having a good time, and he had the soul-bearing, day with reporters after he had another over in the first game of the homestand. So I think that's the biggest thing he started hitting. But Gong's hitting is the same, fits in the same category. Right at this time last year that Josh Harrison started playing regularly and started hitting and sparked their offense. Their offense was bad in April last year. Maybe Gong can do the same thing for them this year.
Any doubts to you he's going to stay in the lineup as they go to Philadelphia here, Gong? And who sits, and is that truly a day-to-day decision that Hurdle's got to make? Or
you know what? I look at splits, and I see what Mercer and Harrison have done against the opposing pitcher, and I use that to make my decision. Gong is not coming out of the lineup at all for me right now. If it's a day you want to rest, maybe you want to rest a Polanco or a Marte, then you put Harrison in one of the outfield positions, which they did over the weekend. There's nowhere, it's not written in stone. Look, he earned his chance to be the starting third baseman, but he's kind of let that chance slip away a little bit right now, and he can get it back. But if he's miffed that they're moving him around, well, then too bad. I don't think he is. He hasn't. He's class A citizen number 1. So it's a good problem to have, because when none of them were hitting, it was like, which one do we play? Now at least one's hitting, so which one do we sit? That's a better choice.
And Mercer actually had big hits in both games Saturday.
Yeah, almost missed a grand slam by 18 inches.
So he's got to stick in there now, I would think. Interesting, too, that Friday night Harrison had 2 botches right before the holiday home run, which made it 4-1. Pretty big. And then Neil Huntington, the GM, met the media yesterday, and he said, in regards to the lineup yesterday, which Neil Walker was out of the lineup, and I don't think this was a shot at Neil, but he said, this is our best defensive team that we can put out there today, meaning Gong at third, and Harrison at second.
I don't believe that. I think Neil Walker's a better second baseman than Josh Harrison.
Well, no, but I'm saying I don't think he meant that as a shot at Neil. I think he meant that Gong's a better third baseman than Harrison is.
Okay.
So for the GM to say that.
Well, he also said he thinks that his contract is weighing on him, and he completely denied that immediately. I think he said that Saturday. Harrison said, I don't think about the contract when I go out there. But you wonder a little bit, because if he were just not hitting, Ken, it would be one thing. He sparked him last year doing everything, eluding the rundowns and getting back to base safely a couple of times, diving catches in right field, left field, third base. I mean, he's played poorly in the field. He's not hitting. I mean, he's not playing well at all right now.
Yesterday got a sack bunt down, which was big, but struggled to do so 2 innings prior. So even the little things, and he's certainly not profiling as a leadoff hitter, which they put him back in the leadoff spot yesterday. So I agree with you. I would sit him for a couple days here and then see how it goes.
If you're a guy that hit the way he did last year for 5 seasons, you give him the benefit of the doubt. He did it for 1 year. And a lot of people, a lot of sabermetricians, you look at how many fly balls he hits. That was a bit of a fluke last year. He bristled at that, as anybody would, but he's got to prove that it wasn't a fluke last year. It's not like he has a long resume. He's got a very short resume.
It worked out yesterday, too, Guy, but for the lineup against the left-handed pitcher, they pulled Walker out, they pulled Polanco out, and they pulled Pager out. This lefty had a pretty good – she's tough on left-handed hitters, 196 batting average against, but – does that surprise you? And if this was a playoff game against the lefty, would he have done the same thing?
No, I think it doesn't surprise me, but it also was a Sunday game when a lot of guys get rested. I think it was the perfect storm for that to happen. That guy, you take a look at the Cardinals without Carpenter doesn't play. John Jay was unable to play yesterday. They hit them without Adam Wainwright in the rotation. Even in 10 days' time, they look a little less formidable than they did a week ago. But all these little things to me add up. We said last Friday the difference between Friday and Monday could be a half a game out, 6.5 out. When we come in last Monday, they were 6.5 out. Now, they had a terrible start to the week. When we left this Friday, it could have been 11 out or it could have been 5 out. They're 7 out. I mean, they're in the rear. They're closer to last place than first place still. But I think all in all, when you're sitting there, and let's be honest, once you get past Cole and Burnett and Liriano, you wonder about there's a drop-off with Locke and Worley. They can have their good games, they don't. But when you're sitting there with 2 games coming up and those guys pitching, you've already lost the 4th game in a row of the Cardinals.
Yeah.
11 out this morning is looking like a very good possibility. I think the last 2 days, I think, were huge. And
trailed in both games, had to come back. Invisible Fence brand, check him out. Braving the
we got to give the
Sports
dog a name. What's a good name for him?
Bucko.
That's good.
Bucko the dog.
Bucko.